With the ceasefire talks stalled and pressure mounting, international voices are growing louder to end the war. So is the fight over facts on the ground. CBN's Chuck Holton has the latest from Jerusalem.
Pressure is mounting on Hamas to accept a ceasefire deal already approved by Israel. The U.S. Special Envoy for Hostage Affairs, Adam Boehler, is calling on the group to take the deal and release the remaining hostages. At the same time, global calls for a permanent end to the war are intensifying, with New Zealand's foreign minister joining 28 countries in backing an immediate halt to the conflict.
The only way forward is an immediate, unconditional and permanent ceasefire. Human suffering is indiscriminate. Further bloodshed serves absolutely no purpose, and therefore it must stop.
On the ground in Gaza, civilians continue to face harsh conditions as fighting escalates in Deir al-Balah.
We woke up in the morning like every time, wanting to prepare something for our children. Suddenly, they had written an evacuation notice. They're asking for 2,000 shekels to leave. The situation is really very difficult.
Israeli officials argue that increased military pressure is the only viable path to both ending the war and bringing hostages home. But the battle for public perception is raging far beyond the battlefield. In Judea and Samaria, reports last week claimed Jewish settlers had attacked a historic church in the Christian village of Taibe. Yet a newly released police report says no damage occurred. And eyewitnesses say the story doesn't hold up under scrutiny.
So the Israeli police just confirmed what we found yesterday. This piece, in my opinion, is another hit piece by the anti-Israel, pro-Palestinian movement to delegitimize Israel and make the Jews look like some sort of, equal to Hamas kind of radical groups.
Waller says even the Palestinian bishop at the site admitted the narrative didn't match the facts.
I said, I came and I walked and I said, that's not what happened. He said, but that's what could have happened. I said, but that's not what happened. The church did not burn.
From disputed battlefield claims to disproven headlines, the war over truth is running parallel to the war on the ground. From Jerusalem, I'm Chuck Holton for CBN News.
All right, thank you, Chuck. Gordon?
Well, the disinformation campaign just seems to be absolutely incredible on this, and to accuse Israel of genocide. Do they have the military capability to wipe out the civilian population of Gaza? I think the answer is quite clearly yes, they do. But what do? They drop leaflets. They tell the civilians to please move. We're getting ready to invade certain parts of your city. They set up camps. They put relief efforts in place to try to feed the population. What does Hamas do in response? Well, they attack the people trying to get the food. And then they blame the IDF for the attack. It's absolutely truth being stood on its head. The genocide and the call to genocide is entirely on the part of Hamas, on the part of Hezbollah, on the part of Iran. And the world needs to stand for the truth here. These are the forces that want to wipe Israel off the map, and that's why they're chanting from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. They're trying to wipe out all the Jews, and when the Jews stand up to defend themselves, then they get fingers pointed at them from all around the world that you're committing some kind of genocide. It's clear that they're not. There are millions of people alive in Gaza. It's been a long war, but if your people, if your relatives were held hostages hostage in tunnels by Hamas, wouldn't you do everything in your power to get them free? Israel needs to have its citizens return, their loved ones return to their homes. As long as Hamas is holding them, Israel has every right to go after them. That's the reality. That's the truth. And all of these calls for immediate ceasefire, for Israel to stand down and somehow Hamas survive in power in Gaza, you've got to be kidding. Hamas cannot do that. There can be no peace in the future for Gaza as long as Hamas is in control. So my message to Israel, stand strong on this. Your future depends on it. Hamas cannot remain in power.